Sissy got nerfed, Cheaters got nerfed, Connie got nerfed, Leland got nerfed, Bone Scraps got nerfed again, and Slaughterhouse got balance changes for fuse and valve exits. Let's talk about that. Hello everyone, Tired Marine here. I've already hinted at some of the changes coming in this next patch, but I want to go into a bit of detail here and explain what I think it means for the game and how it'll affect both victims and family as a whole. So, without further ado, let's hop right into the video. If you want to see the patch notes for yourselves, take a look at the screen and pause it and read it over, but I'm going to be covering everything in this video and explaining it thoroughly. Alright, so let's kick things off with the subjects that's always on any gamer's radar in multiplayer gaming: cheating. The dev team's been hard at work. They've made some significant strides in enhancing the anti-cheat measures. And, you know, for security reasons, they're not going to be able to share specific details. But rest assured, everyone, it's getting better. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. I don't think the cheating problem's ever going to actually get solved completely. But any transparency on the devs' part as far as anti-cheat measures go, it's just reassuring as a community and a gamer to hear that they are working to make it better, and they're making it harder for the cheaters to cheat. Next on the list is a fix for a rather pesky issue involving Sissy's poison attacks. Turns out all of her attacks were causing poison effects, which, as you can imagine, caused quite a commotion in the game. But here is the good news: her normal attacks will no longer apply poison to victims, except for the special blend perk, which is only going to apply on her next attack. And Rubber Legs is still going to have its slowing effect on those already affected by poison. So those of you Sissy enjoyers who love playing Sissy, don't worry, she's not nerfed to the ground. She's still going to be a very powerful family member, but she's not going to be overpowered as she was with these perk combinations, slowing down victims and making the game completely unenjoyable on their side of the game. Next, we want to talk about players blocking themselves. The devs have resolved a frustrating problem where players unintentionally block themselves when looking at the player list. This issue was leading to matchmaking woes and errors, but fortunately it's been sorted out and you can expect smoother matchmaking from now on. For all you Slaughterhouse aficionados, the next thing I want to talk about here is the fuse box and valve handle changes on the Slaughterhouse map. Brace yourselves for some changes. The fuse box will no longer spawn next to the Slaughterhouse door. Instead, it's been relocated to a new spot near the valve exit gate. And that's not all. The spawn locations of the valve handles have also been adjusted to more high traffic areas for a heightened level of strategy on the victim's part. Now it's time to discuss a lot of the changes happening on the victim side of the game. First and foremost, the escape restraints minigame. At the beginning of the match, it's going to be a tad bit more challenging. You're going to need to tap away a bit more, and the overall minigame will take slightly longer to complete. Keep in mind that your strength and stealth stats are still going to come into play, so be sure to adjust your strategy accordingly. Hey, for those of you Connie and Leland mains, listen up. The devs have decided to increase the base cooldown times for both Connie's focused ability and Leland's lifesaver ability. This shift is surely going to shake things up, so be prepared for some changes in the gameplay dynamics. Like I said at the beginning of the video, bone scraps are getting nerfed again. Last time they changed this, they reduced the amount of times you're able to collect bone scraps to 3 max per bone scrap pile. Now they're changing perks that have to do with bone scraps, so both the efficient grappler and efficient backstabber perks are getting changed. So if you're someone who relies on these perks, note that the devs have reduced the chances of keeping the bone scrap across all 3 levels of the perks, both of them. So it's time to reconsider your perk choices and adapt accordingly, or, you know, keep running them. And last but not least, I'm going to keep it simple. The devs walked back a change where you were able to start a match with 6 players. Now you need the full lobby of 7 players to be able to start a match. So I think the biggest 2 changes on this patch are going to be Sissy and the Slaughterhouse changes, at least for me. Playing against Sissy as a victim is going to be so much more bearable. The Sissy is going to have a higher skill ceiling if they want to be able to do good, because they're going to have to actually be able to poison you and place poison in strategic spots to be able to get those perk values, where the perk was so broken before whenever every hit counted as a poison hit. And I think the Slaughterhouse map, we still got to give it some time to see how it's actually going to change the way gameplay flows, because the fuse box change, I think that's going to be good, because fuse box is going to be able to be a lot easier to patrol on the map, because all the fuse boxes spawns are going to be a lot closer together, so you're not going to have to go all the way across the map to check the fuse box. But the valve changes yet to be determined, because going deep into the basement, in my opinion, is such a struggle as a family member, especially when you're in a family member that can't go through crawl spaces easily, like Johnny or Cook or Leatherface. it's going to still be a struggle. So it's yet to be determined how that actually affects the flow of gameplay. So I believe, even after this patch, that the water pressure valve exit is still going to be probably the best option for victims on the Slaughterhouse map. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you like this sort of content, make sure to subscribe and notifications on so you don't miss any more Texas Chainsaw content in the future. I plan on making so much content covering this video game, and that's going to be both for victims and family. Anyways, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend and week ahead, whatever time you're watching this video. Tired Marine out.